Saax Bradbury Players is a teen program that was developed about 20 years ago. Saax Bradbury was an actress who was very successful here at Bern Civic Theatre, very dear to the community, and tragically she passed away in an accident. I believe it was a plane crash. This troupe was named after Saax Bradbury Players, and over the years it fizzled. It's very difficult for a teenager because you're a little too old to be in the children's show, but at the same time you're still too young to really fit into the adult shows. So they're kind of stuck in the middle. I felt in watching the mentorship that happens during our stagehands productions and also our workshops, these teens are great leaders, and I wanted to enhance that. So we developed a program to where they're not just performing, they're directing, they're producing, and what that does is it teaches them leadership skills, it teaches them management. Directing a show is 10% art, 90% management. You've got to know what everyone's doing, how to coordinate it. It builds teamwork, collaboration, creative problem solving, and regardless of whether these kids go on to the performing arts when they graduate, these are lifelong skills that anybody uses in any arena. So they're going out into the world with some really, really important skills, and it looks good on a resume as well.
It was about time, you know? I thought, well, I've been waiting for this for years. No, it was funny because when they told us, I went home and I said, yeah, they asked me to direct. And my mom was like, what? It's about time! She threw the milk carton on the ground and everyone cried over the spilled milk and cried over the fact that I was going to do something exciting and worthwhile with my life. And she thought, yay, you can finally boss people around because you're so bossy here, so get out of here.
I realized how to handle money, I guess you could say, and how to kind of work behind the scenes. It's a totally different experience than being on the stage, and it makes you appreciate everybody involved in a production, not just, the actors.
Actually, I thought it would be a little bit more unorganized, but it actually seems just the same as when an adult's directing it and there's adults everywhere.
To have someone that close to your age and relatable, it's just not like having an older director that's graduated college, gone to school. You're experimenting with the director, and you are on a one-to-one basis, and it's trial and error, whole show.
He was the perfect choice as the director for Telltale Heart, simply because he has a lot of experience in theater. He has more than I do.
Well, she hasn't been here for 10 years, 32 shows, directing a show before the age of 18.
He's very creative. I was actually surprised at watching him in his rehearsals. He took what I wanted above and beyond what I had seen. It's not just him getting them up there and saying, okay, you be here, you need to stand there. He's making these actors really, really get to know their characters.
I try and think of all the things that the directors before me did, and I piece together like a little puzzle what worked for me. And I try and use that with the cast. And sometimes my techniques don't work. Sometimes they're out of phase, sometimes they're just a personal thing that worked. So I try and sculpt myself to their liking. It's a balance. Everything's a balance.
When this program was developed, we had to really think hard about what we were going to be handing off to the teens. Edgar Allan Poe, it doesn't get any more creative than that.
Well, I've always liked Poe, and I've grown up with him. My parents like him and stuff, and The Raven's always been one of my favorite poems.
We chose a non-musical because our children's shows are traditionally musicals. This was an opportunity for some of our young actors who are not comfortable singing. An opportunity for them to shine.
Don't get me wrong, I love music and I love acting and I love dance, but together I feel like it can all take away from each other. Just to have one play of straight dialogue is really interesting to be a part of.
Chrissy Bacha, I had asked her to be the mentor for this program. She was part of the original Saax Bradbury Players, and she has been a part of most of these teens' lives since coming to New Bern Civic Theatre. She is very, very good at working with kids. Chrissy Botch's talent is that she is able to step back and allow Adam Griffin to direct his show in the way that he needs to direct it. So when the public comes to see this show, it is directed by Adam Griffin.
Okay, so I don't want to change it.
You need more eyeliner. That would make me happier. Or something.
Adam said no?
Adam said no on eyeliner? For my Ben?
Did you put on that pale makeup yesterday?
I'm here. It wasn't this painful.
Oh, you are here. I was about to text you. Okay. I'm really proud of you guys. I want to let you know that this is my first directing experience, but it's definitely not going to be my last because of you guys. You guys have made this worthwhile for me. And if you pretend to cry, I'll slap you. That'll be a real bruise when you go on stage. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for the effort that you're putting in for the show. And I love you. All right, so let's all bring it in. We're going to do our little circle thing like we did yesterday. Okay? All right? Ready? Right leg, break the leg. Yeah. All right, can I have my black catters in the pigeon coop and everyone else if you could warm up your bodies so that you're ready to go. Thank you.
It's a new experience, but it's definitely been a great one. I feel like I've gotten some independence doing this show just with teenagers, with people my own age, and it's also just been a very new and learning experience for everybody, but it's been great.
I'm normally a very introverted person, having to speak up and be in front of people and take direction. I don't take direction very well, except for on stage, really. It's helped me kind of get along with people more often and talk to people more.
I love the people. They're so welcoming because when I did my first show here, I didn't know what to expect, and I was just in awe over how nice the people were.
Coming into theater, I found my passion where I belong, and so that's really boosted my self-confidence.
If teens can do something this well, just like an adult would do it, it gives me faith, hope.
You have a show to put on in 2 months, whether you like it or not. And you have to know how to work with those people, and you have to know what's their good points, what are their bad points, how to get along with them, and how to just suck it up and bite the bullet. I actually love everyone in this cast, so it's cool. But
It's a home. It's a community. It's a loving atmosphere to be who you are when you want to be it. Whoever that is. If today you want to sing and dance, you know, don't rain on my parade, you can do that. But tomorrow you can come in here and dress like a sparrow and be angry. This place invites you and welcomes you into that. It's like psychology. It's therapeutic.
Theater has been known to not only bring a child out of his or her shell, it improves their grades and SAT scores, it improves attendance at schools, as well as letting the child meet more friends. I would have never met half as many as the friends that I met if it wasn't for theater.
At the end of the year, this is going to be the thing that I look back on and say, whew, I'm proud of this. I am so proud of this. Seriously, proud of this.
We're going upstairs to pick out costumes, and me and Kathleen went upstairs. When we came down from picking out costumes, the office was locked, and it was pitch black in the room. There was no air conditioning, and I called Angelina. She did not pick up. I called Keith, who was at CC's, and wanted to eat pizza over coming and saving our lives. He did not pick up, and then I called Chrissy at the library. Thank God for Chrissy, because Chrissy had pity on our poor souls and told us that she would come here in 30 minutes. 30 minutes, okay? I felt like a kidnapped, lost survivor, I don't even know what else, trapped in a little box. I grabbed a hammer from the closet and I sat in the corner with the hammer for like 10 minutes. And Kathleen's sitting there like this for like forever and a day, and it's bloody hot in there and we're sweating all over like fish and chips. It's all over the place. Then I grabbed a fan and we plugged in the fan because, I mean, obviously there's no air conditioning. Why didn't we do this earlier? Duh. Georgie walks in early like she always does, but the downstairs is locked. So she walks by us and we're screaming, Georgie, 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 and she doesn't hear us. So then we wait another 10 minutes and she comes by again. And we're screaming, Georgie, 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 and there's this little hole in the door next door. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But Kathleen shoves herself all the way through the door. And she's like this, Georgie, call my number. So Georgie grabs some random woman off the street and she dials our number. She didn't even know the woman. And she dials the number and she calls us and we're like, Georgie, we're stuck upstairs. And she says, okay, but I don't know this woman's number, so I'm gonna go get a latte. And so she runs away from us. And we're still stuck up there, and Kathleen's sort of stuck through the window now. So I tried to call 911 on the theater's phone, but it's disconnected, so no one can help me. Literally no one can help me. I'm like praying to Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Mary, everyone that I can think of in one time period. And I'm like, please help me. And by that time we pass out, and Chrissy comes into the theater, and we're passed out on the floor.